The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that doomed.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to US dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
If you've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population, this place absolutely outshines it.
It's Thursday, the 11th day of June, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BEDC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamillah Hartman. How's everyone feeling today? How is everyone feeling today? Yeah. I don't know how I'm feeling. I really don't. Should be a great Thursday or Friday Junior or whatever you choose to call it. But the World Cup begins today and there's so little hype. It's exposing our hypocrisy. 4 years ago, we were all up in arms about how Qatar's human rights and how they treated LGBTQ people and how they were banning drinking, and all they wanted you to do is respect their culture. And now the World Cup's taking place in 3 countries, and one in particular has some of the worst human rights records. Politics has been all over and involved, and it's a somber feeling. As arguably the world's greatest month-long event, most watched global event, is pretty much a waste so far. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. James Burgess said it's feeling lovely. Chikarena says, good morning. Already hot here. I think she's in North Carolina. We've got Kathy Sumner says, good morning, TDH. I'm tired. All right. Come on, Kathy. Wake up. Let's go. Let's go. World Cup today. Let's do it. We've got Laverne Tucker says, good morning, TDH family. I'm feeling top of the world. I love that for you. I do. The next James Burgess. Let me be honest. So, audience, before we get to anything, let me address those New York Knickerbockers. So, texting back and forth with friends last night. I don't attach myself to sport much anymore because I just don't love. I get too emotionally involved, and I just feel like the Knicks have really shown something this entire series, whether they win the championship on Saturday or not. There's lessons in what we've seen, and those lessons are that despite officiating seemingly being one-sided to some, despite playing horribly, being down 10 every first quarter of this final, the Knicks have given us all hope, resilience. They've proven that it's really not over until that lady sings. it's 2026. I can't say that lady, but that lady. Well, I was watching the game last night. I said, "Oh, this is crazy." From the outset, they called a crazy foul, missing goaltending calls. I said, "Whatever." Knicks didn't look like they came to play, so I turned it off halftime. I woke up in disbelief. The largest comeback in NBA playoff history. There's lessons in that for us all. Trust me, folks. When we're feeling down, as long as we have life and are able, we have an opportunity. All right, we've got Suzanne Ingham says, "Good morning, Jamel. Thank God it's Sherry Day Eve. Me too, Kathy. I'm tired today." We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson said, "Trump jinxed the last game." Quite possible. All right, folks. Well, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Jamillah Lodge on from the BEDC and Sydney West on from Internship Insights Co. We're discussing the Wave of Opportunity Pitch Competition. Folks, this is one of my favorite events on the calendar in Bermuda. Not just because I hosted the event last year, but you all know I love entrepreneurship. I love people who have these ideas and don't just have the ideas, but they execute on their ideas. So really looking forward to this conversation. If you're an entrepreneur, if you know someone who's an entrepreneur, make sure they get into this conversation. Carnival can wait. This is an opportunity to get $25,000. Not one person, but 3 people. Well, 4. No, 5, because it's 3 winners, then a youth winner, and then a People's Choice winner. 5 people with an opportunity to win $25K. You know what? I love the pitch competition. Anyway, the Daily Place is the name that plays today. Daily Place. The Daily Play is the name that plays today. Do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, folks, let's get into today's discussion. You heard me mention the World Cup. Well, it begins today. This year, the tournament takes place across Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Under normal circumstances, this would be one of the most exciting days on the sporting calendar. The World Cup only comes around every 4 years, and for many people, it's more than a football tournament. It's a cultural event. It's something that brings people together regardless of language, nationality, politics, or religion. However, this World Cup feels different. It has been said by many observers that unlike World Cups of the past, this one seems to be arriving with far less buzz and excitement. Now, maybe that's just perception, and maybe once the matches begin, all of that changes. However, heading into the tournament, there seems to be more discussion about politics, immigration policies, security concerns, travel restrictions, and global conflicts than there is about the football itself. You know, we're hearing stories about referees facing challenges entering countries to officiate. Questions have been raised about how participating countries and their supporters are being treated. Fans are talking about the high cost of attending matches and whether the tournament is becoming inaccessible to ordinary people. In some cases, supporters have expressed feeling more like potential security threats than welcome guests. Now, that's unfortunate because football has always been known as the world's game. For generations, it has been one of the few things capable of bringing people together across political, racial, religious, and economic divides. Even people who don't know football suddenly become interested when the World Cup arrives. They pick a team, they wear a jersey, watch a match, and for a few weeks become part of something bigger than themselves. The World Cup has always been one of those rare events that reminds us we have more in common than we sometimes think, which is why this is so interesting to me. The world's biggest sporting event is beginning at a time when so many people feel anxious, divided, frustrated, and uncertain about the future. What does that say about where we are as a global community? And more importantly, can sport still do what it has done for generations and bring people together despite everything happening around us? Bringing the conversation home to Bermuda. We may not be participating in the tournament, but we are certainly connected to it. The World Cup is taking place throughout North America, right in our backyard. Canada, Mexico, and the United States will attract millions of visitors, billions of viewers, and unprecedented global attention over the next month. That actually could create opportunities. And we need to ask ourselves, despite all of that's going wrong on the eye, can Bermuda position itself as a destination for supporters looking to extend their trips before or after matches? Can our tourism industry benefit from the increased focus on this part of the world? Can our young footballers watch this tournament and be inspired by what is possible if they continue to work at their craft? Maybe there's a lesson for Bermuda as well. The World Cup reminds us that even in difficult times, people still crave connection. They still want experiences. They still want reasons to come together. In a world that often feels divided, the things that unite us become even more important. Folks, here's your question of the morning. What do you think Bermuda can learn from the good and bad of the World Cup so far? And a ball hasn't even been kicked. Think about that. Let us know. We'll come back. We'll get into the conversation. And we also have the poll question after this short message.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
All righty, folks, you see the question of the morning. What do you think Bermuda can learn from the good and bad of the World Cup so far? And here's your poll question. Do you believe Bermuda will benefit from the World Cup being close to home? That's a 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you think Bermuda will benefit? And if you're just tuning in, you can basically what we're talking about, the World Cup begins today. It's finally here, right? Only takes place every 4 years. It remains the biggest sporting event on the planet. Billions of people will watch it. More countries participate in football than any other sport. Historically, the World Cup has been more about, more than sport. Like it's really, there were times where wars stopped. It's about culture and pride and identity and connection. But the question is, why does this World Cup feel so different? And I can't remain silent because Qatar was only 4 years ago. And the amount of advocates, especially from the LGBTQ community, the amount of people who publicly criticized Qatar for their politics, when all they were asking people to do was respect their culture. The silence right now in what's happening. People literally just want to come and enjoy the World Cup, enjoy football, the world's game, in a country that doesn't even respect the world's game. And they're being made to feel like criminals. I think there's some things Bermuda can learn from this. I do. There's a lot Bermuda can learn from this. Bermuda needs to learn from this. We can't go about treating people who are not a threat to us like criminals. We can't do that. Especially when we have criminals walking the streets without consequence. There are so many lessons for Bermuda beyond politics to take away from this. There are Bermudians who have moved overseas. They left the island because of how they felt they were being treated in Bermuda. So I'm not even touching on how Bermudians treat non-Bermudians. I'm talking just how we treat each other. There's lessons here. Audience, what are your thoughts? What do you think Bermuda can learn from the good and bad of the World Cup so far? And also, do you believe Bermuda will benefit from the World Cup being so close to home? Let me say this. On the internet right now, there are quite a few Europeans sharing their travels throughout the US. It's a German guy who's really like gained fame over the last 4 or 5 days. Like he experienced Waffle House for the first time. He didn't know that the city of Atlanta was in the middle of the forest. I'm like, well, wait till he finds out about Vegas and the desert, right? He's understanding that the gun culture in the United States. He's just sharing his journey. And I'm just like, wouldn't it be cool if Bermuda had people, again, they got across us to get to North America, really. I mean, not directly over us, but you get my point. I don't know what the tourism authority does, but were we advertising to Europeans, hey, while you're over there enjoying your World Cup experience, stop over in Bermuda for a quick break, or before you head home, or stop to Bermuda for an appetizer before you go to the World Cup? Like, are we thinking like that? This is big for North America. Are we going to be maybe promoting and advertising and speaking and connecting with the global audience while they're in the United States, Canada, and Mexico? I do wonder. But again, as I mentioned, this World Cup feels different. There's a noted lack of excitement. Like, think about it. Folks, I don't go on social media as much personally, but there's no one talking about, oh, Brazil or, whoever their team is. The buildup has been overshadowed by global conflicts and political tensions and immigration concerns and travel restrictions and security issues. Like, there's more discussion about off-field issues than football itself. And then there's the other part where the cost. And this is where I think Bermuda can learn a lesson. Fans have complained about the cost of attending a game. When you price yourself out, thinking that, if you put it at a price, people will buy it. That's what Bermuda hotels did long ago. We're a luxury destination. We're not. We're not. You price something at a certain point, and you think people are going, no. And FIFA's getting a lesson right now, an economic lesson. Those prices will have to drop to get people in the stands. You see was it Qatar? I was told, I don't know how true this is, had free transportation. Well, in American cities in particular, they're literally doubling in transportation. And don't get me started on the gratuities. Like, a lot of restaurants in certain cities in the US are including gratuities because they say Europeans don't tip. No, maybe Europeans. And see, this is what gets me. And I spoke about this about people before. It's one of those things where I got in an argument with someone years ago in Bermuda. And they said to me, That whole thing, if you don't like it, leave. Bermudians live better than 99% of the world. And I was like, how indoctrinated do you have to be to believe that? And it made me think about many Americans who get told the same thing, right? They believe they live in the best place in the world, this and that. And I'm like, but you don't. Get sick and see how great your country is for you. The indoctrination of people to make them believe what's not true. It's like Bermuda's thing, right? You get told, oh, we're the richest country in the world per capita. That's the country. That's not you. There's lessons in this, folks. There's a lot of lessons in this for Bermuda. Let me go to the audience because it's not about me blabbing, right? We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson says, politics tends to divide, sports tend to unite. Lesson, rise above the negative and find ways to unite. Yeah? Reach for better angels, he says. Dorian says, FIFA should ban the U.S. from ever holding the World Cup again. Look, people came at Qatar saying it was corruption, global corruption. I don't know if that's true. And I don't know if corruption is true as it relates to the United States. I just don't. What I will say is that the organization needs to be investigated. Because there's no way. You know, the FIFA president is being quoted as saying, you know, FIFA doesn't dictate to countries about their policies or whatever. Countries also shouldn't dictate to FIFA, which is a global organization and does not belong to one country. We've got Manuela says, if the interviews with establishments will be viewing the games, it should benefit them. I agree. What else, audience? Let's see the poll. Do you believe Bermuda will benefit from the World Cup being close to home? Well, 75% of you are saying yes so far, with 25% saying no. Okay. What else, audience? What do you think Bermuda can learn from the good and bad of the World Cup so far? Again, the World Cup 2026 begins today. Another concern I have is football becoming a product for corporations and wealthy fans rather than everyday people. And I know for years people have complained that Cup Match has become too corporate, right? There are people who feel like Cup Match is about who can afford a camp nowadays. I think that's unfair in a bit. While I understand people's concerns, the difference is in a small community like Bermuda, everyone wants to get paid. And it costs these clubs a lot to put this on and get scaffolding. So I get the comparison, but I think it's a bit unfair in a local context that way. But that said, we do have to be cautious about allowing corporations to take it away from the local people, if that makes sense. Like the World Cup's being taken away from ordinary supporters. As someone mentioned, sport used to be the thing to unite us. It used to be the one thing that united us. At least football has historically united people across race, religion, politics, nationality. It doesn't feel like that right now. So we've got to ask ourselves these things, and in a Bermuda context, does the lack of buzz say something about football, or does it say something about the state of the world? Are people simply overwhelmed by everything happening globally? Has social media fragmented our attention spans? Do younger generations connect with major sporting events differently? There's a lot of questions to ask. And with the World Cup being in North America, did Bermuda prepare enough to ensure that we benefit from it? I don't think I've heard anything from the government or the Bermuda Tourism Authority. Have we done anything to ensure that we can somehow benefit through tourism, sports tourism, international exposure? But some lessons, man. Collaboration matters. Sport can be an economic driver. It can definitely build community. national pride, global connections. And from a local context, we need to ask ourselves, are we doing enough to leverage sports for economic development? But answer these questions, audience. Does this World Cup feel different to you, or is it just me? Are politics and global issues overshadowing the football? Do you believe sport can still bring people together like it once did? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Has it become too commercialized? These are some important questions. This is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. All right, so the poll, it looks like 60-40. Do you believe Bermuda will benefit from the World Cup being close to home? 60% have said yes. How do you think Bermuda will benefit? That's the question. How will we benefit? Let's show some love to Titan Express and Secure. Then we will take a, I'll give you days of the year. Then we'll take a break and then come back. We've got Sydney West into his house. All right.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural experiences, they set the standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you.
Alrighty, folks. Well, it's days of the year. It's World Cup Day. It's the first day of World Cup 2026. Very simple question. Who are you rooting for in the World Cup? Who are you rooting for in the World Cup? For me, I'm rooting for Bermuda. I mean, you all saying seriously? Yeah, I'm rooting for Bermuda. I don't have a team. Like I was never that child who was rooting for Brazil like everyone else when I was young. I was never that child who rooted for like England, or like it didn't move me. I was always the person who just enjoyed it stress-free. So I just want to see good football. Who do I think will win? I think between France and Portugal. I think it'll be between France and Portugal. Those two teams, to me, France has the best attack and Portugal has the strongest midfield on paper. I think Brazil probably has the most solid central defense. But I think if you ask me today, Spain, how could I forget Spain? Spain probably has the greatest balance. They're not exciting to me. But yeah, I think it's probably France, Portugal, or Spain. France, Portugal, or Spain to me. Alex Mulholland says Scotland. Okay. Sounds like he's going with the home team. All right. I'd love to see Scotland do well, though. I really would. Better than England. We've got France, says WK Lama. Thinks France is, he's rooting for France. We've got Mark Arthur's rooting for Brazil. I am that guy. We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson's rooting for Brazil and France. We've got Polly Rich rooting for France. Okay. I know Dr. King said about neutrality, but I'm not rooting for anyone. I just think I have predictions. James Burgess is rooting for Germany, it looks like. Okay. All right, folks, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with our daily discussion. Daily focus. And we've got Sydney West in the house. We're talking about the pitch competition, which he was successful at last time around. Stick with us. Do not go anywhere.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One Lucky Bucks in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
What lasts isn't what you buy, but what it becomes. With the HSBC MasterCard credit card, every spend quietly adds to a story shaped by intention and offers what matters most. Support that meets you where you are. Protection that preserves what you choose. Confidence for the unexpected. Peace of mind wherever your story leads. Start your next chapter. Use your card today. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
You wanna come get some? Playing around. Playing around. I got the juice. I got it, no doubt.
Ever taken medication and thought, why is this hitting me so hard? Or why isn't this doing anything at all? Here's something you may not know. Your body processes medication the same way it needs to process food, using enzymes. And these enzymes metabolize medication so it can be converted into its useful form or removed from your body. Pharmacogenetics looks at how your DNA influences the way your body metabolizes or breaks down medications. It helps explain why a drug that works well for one person causes side effects in another and barely works at all for someone else. That means the same pill at the same dose can feel very different from one person to the next. It's not about blame, it's not about doing something wrong, it's simply biology. And once you know what works best for you, medication decisions stop being guesswork and start becoming personalized.
Folks, welcome back to The Big Show. Jamel Hartman here. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BEDC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medicals, Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. Audience, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. I'm laughing still because I told you earlier that I was so ticked off at the basketball game last night. I mean, the Knicks were getting a beat down. I turned it off, went sleep, and I woke up. I'm still in disbelief. Like, it's funny. Like, you don't come back. You know what? I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something. And you always going to say, oh, he's being crazy again. I think sports fixed. Or somebody drew that game. I haven't seen it, but there's no way. It just doesn't happen. The largest comeback in NBA, it doesn't happen. I'm sorry. No. With the World Cup starting, you have all this technology. If I see any of this behavior, this disgusting behavior from the referees and officials, I will turn it off, and then it will be one less person on the billion watching. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not. Anyway, that's my rant. I just can't believe the Spurs are that bad. Like, you cannot, as professionals, let a team come back and beat you like that. Anyway, Let me put my entrepreneur hat on. We've got a great conversation coming. You know what? We got to find out who Jamillah and Sydney are rooting for in the World Cup as well. That's what we're going to do. But before we do that, we've got Spain is Dwayne Nolan's rooting for Spain. We've got Dorian says, I cheer for any African team that is playing. I could never cheer for a colonizer. Okay. Well, I don't cheer for anyone. But South Africa, if it gives you comfort, they're playing Mexico in the first game today at 3. All right, folks, let's give a warm TDH welcome. We've got our good friends, as I mentioned earlier. The pitch competition is one of my favorite things on the calendar, not just because I was privileged to host it last year, but I just love the opportunity that entrepreneurs have through sharing their ideas and the opportunity to win $25,000 toward their business. It's one of the most beautiful things that I don't think enough Bermudians celebrate, participate in. So again, if you know an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, share it. Make sure you get your questions and comments ready. It's a phenomenal thing that they put on every year. But I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to let them come and talk about it. Let's give a warm TDH welcome to Jamillah Lodge from the BEDC and Sydney West from Internship Insights Co. That's not the one I want. Here we go. Not that one either. Here we go. Ladies, how are you?
Good morning.
I'm great, thanks. How are
Okay,
you?
they're cheering for you guys like you're in New York next time. After last night. Did you thought you catch the game?
Yes, I watched it. It was unbelievable. And there was no trickery, Jamel. It was just straight up hustle and grind. All it takes is for you to miss 2 or 3 baskets, and then the game is shifted.
Momentum. No, seriously, she's literally real. Momentum, folks. Like basketball is a game where you always have a chance if there's time on the clock because momentum.
Literally. It was amazing.
Wow.
The last basket, the winning basket, was amazing. Dude came out of nowhere and just lobbed it in. It was amazing to watch.
You know, Sydney, there's a lesson here. Don't be like me. Don't just give up and fall asleep. Stick with it to the end. So when things get hard for your business, stick with it, Sydney. Don't be like me and fall asleep and be like, whatever. All right. But no, I'm excited for you both. Oh, before we move further, the World Cup begins today. Who you cheering for?
Well, I'm like one of your listeners. Any African team, I'm cheering.
Our office did a draw, and unfortunately, I got Curacao. So I'm not a big football person anyway. Like I'm not a big sports person in general. So I know nothing about your basketball or this World Cup for that matter. But I am for Curacao until they're knocked out, I guess. But
okay.
You know what? You took an underdog. We can appreciate that. But we do have something against Curacao because they beat Bermuda. So
I know.
Well, we can appreciate that.
In our thing, I think I'm talking last. Our CEO is last with New Zealand. I think we died and New Zealand is 85th.
Okay. We've got some real people into his house. Well, let's jump into today's discussion. Jamillah, let's start because again, this is one of my favorite events on the calendar. I once soon as it was posted, I went on LinkedIn, reposted, let people know, get involved. Let's get into this. But for those who may not be familiar with it, just explain what the Wave of Opportunity Pitch Competition actually is and why has it become such an important initiative for entrepreneurs in Bermuda?
Absolutely. So the Wave of Opportunity Pitch Competition is a partnership between BEDC and Global Atlantic. They have committed to provide us with $125,000 in grant funding for entrepreneurs for 10 years. So what this means is that every year in November, we get an opportunity to give out $125,000 in grants. So 5 lucky entrepreneurs receive $25,000 each. And it is a grant, so there's no need to pay it back. And it's a big deal because up until now, we used to hold a rocket pitch competition. And I think our max grant that we ever gave out was $5,000. So you could imagine being able to triple that at the very least has been a huge benefit to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So that's essentially what it is. You have a business idea, you have a new business, and you need capital for your business, and you're not interested in getting a loan, then you can pitch your business in this competition for a chance to win $25,000, which I think is phenomenal.
You mentioned 5 winners. Can you just explain how it works? Because I think I explained it right earlier. There's 3 winners, and then there's a People's Choice winner, and then there's a youth category.
Absolutely. So we have judges, and so there's a total of 5 awards. The first 3 awards are given to kind of any entrepreneur, any business that is eligible, viable, that the judges deem worthy. And then we do set aside one for young adults. We changed it to young adults this year because people were like, wait a minute, where are the youth at? So our young adult age range is from 13 to I think 23. And as you know, like once you start getting 18, 19, you're like, wait a minute, they look just the same age as some of the other competitors. So it's young adults specifically. There's a group age range for that. And then the People's Choice would be any of the finalists that didn't win one of those other awards can then still win the $25,000. So the people, the audience, if it's live streamed, so if you're watching, you can also vote for your favorite. And so that's how we get to the 5 awards.
I want to ask the audience out there, is anyone in the audience an entrepreneur or lives with someone who's an entrepreneur? And the reason I ask is because I've met so many people, literally probably just over the last 3 years, who I didn't even know had side hustles. And then the side hustles became their full-time gig. So I just very interested to see if anyone is an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship could be in anything. If you just sell something at vendor markets, right? Let us know if you're an entrepreneur or if someone in your household is. I'd love to get an idea from the audience today. Now, Jamillah, the competition is open to aspiring entrepreneurs at different stages of their journey, right?
Yes.
People at the beginning, they've matured a bit. What kinds of opportunities and support are available to participants beyond just the chance to win the $25,000?
So the one thing that I like about this partnership with Global Atlantic is they are very involved from the beginning. So we've been meeting with them since the competition ended last year. So they are willing to mentor. They work with us with the preliminaries. They try their best to find people within their network. And this is like a billion-dollar company all over the world. They have offices all over the world. So they have a wide connection. And so our entrepreneurs who participate in this competition get access to that network, right? We meet with a Global Atlantic rep, with the winners, and we do our check-ins like accountability partners. And then through those conversations, and maybe Sydney can speak to it as well, we try our best to identify what additional support is required. And if BEDC is unable to provide it, then Global Atlantic will look into their network and say, well, who do we know that we can connect you with to support whatever it is that you need to do? So outside of the fact that BEDC on a regular basis supports entrepreneurs, you can meet with one of our officers, get business advice and guidance, etc. The Global Atlantic team also wants to open up their network and mentor the entrepreneurs as well.
Sydney, you won last year in the young adult. Yeah. Your experience though. What inspired you to enter the competition, and what was it like standing in front of the judges and pitching your idea?
Yeah, I would say my parents and a friend of mine actually encouraged me to apply. And at first, I would say I had a little bit of an imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't think that this is something that I should be doing at this stage. It's literally just an idea. I haven't really done much behind it. And so they still encouraged me to do it. I signed up anyway, and I made it to the preliminary rounds and then to the final rounds, and then end up winning. So yeah.
And for those who may not know, Sydney, just tell them what your business idea was, and winning is one thing, but growth is another. How has participating in the competition impacted your business, your confidence, and entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, what was your question again?
No, I was asking, just tell people a bit about, like, for those who may not know, what your business was or is, and then, like, how has the competition impacted your business, confidence, and entrepreneurial journey since then? You know?
So, Internship Insights Co. is the name of my business, and it's a training and consulting firm that produces a win win experience for both the interns and the employers. And since winning this competition, it's been great because I've been able to be connected with many different stakeholders in the community. It's a great way to promote your business and let people know you are here and what you do and how you expect to use the finances, but also grow your business even if you don't win. I think it's a great place to network with many different businesses because many different business owners, many different people at all different levels are in the room when you present. So I think it's not only a place, an opportunity to win money for your business, but it is an opportunity to promote your business further. You get a stand as well. So I don't know if that's the thing that's always been or will continue, but you do get a stand so people can take things about your business with you, whether that's business cards or you want them to fill out a survey or you have samples like it's a great way to see what you're about going forward. So yeah, since which I've been able to partner with one local organization and get in the role and start of launching our pilot program coming up in June. I partner with the BEDC and Global Atlantic to host an event in July, hopefully. So there's a lot of things in the works, and with the support of the BEDC and Global Atlantic, I do believe that it's allowed my business to build and grow at just the right time. I think I had unrealistic expectations, and it's great that the BEDC and Global Atlantic have supported me despite that and have showed me, okay, sometimes you just gotta give yourself grace. You're doing a lot of things and allow your business to grow at its appropriate speed, and you are just where you're supposed to be. And I feel like every entrepreneur should know and understand that you are just exactly where you're supposed to be, and putting yourself out there isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing that helps you to grow, like you said, in confidence and along your entrepreneurial journey.
Indeed. Audience tuned in on the radio. We're speaking with Jamillah Lodge from the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation and Sydney West from Internship Insights Co. We're speaking about the wave of opportunity pitch competition that takes place later this year. Now, Jamillah, the BDC is committed to developing entrepreneurs. How does the wave of opportunity competition fit into the broader mission of helping Bermudians turn ideas into sustainable businesses?
Okay, so like you said, our whole primary objective is to support entrepreneurship development, create a healthy entrepreneurial ecosystem. And one thing that we know for sure is that when you start in a business, you need money, right? So in that instance, what we have traditionally had access to throughout BDC or within our own network has been debt, right? You can get a microloan from us, you can get a loan guarantee. And oftentimes that's not what entrepreneurs, especially when they're starting out, need. What they need is money, yes, but they also need time. And as we know, with a loan, when do you have to start paying it back? Right away. So I think the fact that we've been able to enter into this relationship with Global Atlantic creates the opportunity to give the businesses who need capital the time that they need to actually get going, right? In Sydney's instance, she won our young adult category, young entrepreneur category. And like she mentioned, like sometimes you go into it guns blazing thinking all of these things are going to happen, but it's all about timing. It's all about people's readiness to receive what it is that you're trying to do. And so you don't want to be saddled with debt before you can solidify who your customer base is, how you're going to make your money, and all of that case. And so because this is a grant, it is creating the opportunity for the entrepreneurs to participate, to have the time that's needed to build out their businesses.
Yeah, indeed. And audience, if you have any questions or comments for Jamillah or Sydney, you can send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. But this question's for both of you. And I'll start with you first, Sydney. For anyone listening who has an idea but is unsure whether they should apply, what advice would each of you give them about taking that leap and entering the 2026 competition?
Yeah, I would say apply anyway. Apply anyway. It's you don't know if you will get in if you don't apply. So I just say apply anyway, take a chance on yourself. There's literally nothing you can do if you don't apply yourself. So do it.
Jamillah.
Absolutely. I mean, like Nike said, just do it. I mean, if you are considering entrepreneurship, if you are an entrepreneur and you have idea, like I said, you know you're going to need money. This is money that is being given to you, right? And then you even if you apply, you get accepted and you don't win. I think the process of going through and pitching your business, getting valuable feedback, right? Because you have to go through a series of preliminary rounds for us to identify who the finalists, but getting that feedback to understand, well, what was missing in my pitch? What should I consider? Because I've had conversations and interviewed people participating in pitch competition and they didn't win, but they've gone on to launch their business and they're doing great, irrespective of whether or not they got the money. So I think the overall experience of applying, right, getting the idea out of your head and on paper, of getting that feedback from people, because we do also provide kind of mentorship for those who have been accepted into the preliminaries, pitching the business in front of people, because it's not just us, right? Maybe you're going to look for an investor one day. You're going to need to be able to speak to your business to be able to close that deal. So the whole process, I think, is a learning experience. And I think it's something that you would do yourself a disservice if you don't try and apply and pitch your business. If you're not in it, there's no way that you can win it, right? So I encourage people, if you are considering it, you're not sure, do what Sydney said. She said somebody encouraged her. She didn't think she was ready, but she won the whole thing. So don't do yourself a disservice by not applying. At least apply, get the experience, and then you might come home $25,000 richer.
Indeed. Before you head out, what are some key dates, categories? What may the judges be looking for this year for potential applicants so they can start preparing now? When do they have to sign up by? And the whole process?
Sign up now. That's why we're here. So we don't want it to be a situation where people are like, oh my God, I didn't even know. What was I supposed to do? I didn't know, I missed it. I hear that a lot. You know, people will be like, oh man, I was going to do it this year, and then don't. So I'm saying applications are open now. Please do apply. And they close in, I think it's July. I was trying to pull up the website to give you the exact dates. Let me look for sure. But the point is, don't wait. I know we like to wait till the last minute and be like, oh, I'll get it in. There's no need to wait. You could go ahead and enter now. Everything is actually on our website. If you log on to the Wave of Opportunity Pitch Competition, you'll see it. But I'm going to give you the rundown now. So closing date for applications are July 17th.
Okay.
So we have plenty of time to get them in. Don't wait to the last day and be like, should have, could have, would have. Don't do that to yourself. And then after the applications close, our preliminary rounds take place August 27th through the 28th. We have a boot camp, like I said, where some of the other winners, maybe Sydney will come back and give people some insight as to how she won. And then we do some coaching. And then the pitch competition, the main event, happens on Monday, November 16th. Which is the first day of Global Entrepreneurship Week. So it's definitely a huge opportunity that is going to be annual. This is we're going into our fourth year. And so we want to get as much money out there in the hands of the people that need it the most. And I think that's the key. You asked what the judges are going to be looking for. And so one of the things that they're looking for is, how are you going to use the $25,000? What impact is it going to be able to make in your business, right? And so that, I think, from a Global Atlantic perspective, is what they're most interested in. They want to see that this money is really making a difference in either how you run your business, the opportunity for you to increase sales. So those are the kind of things that judges are looking for. So when you apply, keep that in mind.
I love this, and again, it's I get excited. And I don't want to put anyone down, but I just don't understand why someone would not want to just enter. It's one of those things. If you're in business, you can't be afraid of rejection, right? The most that can be said is no, and that doesn't mean you can't come back next year, right? I don't think you both could have said any more. But anyone in this audience today who has a business, an idea, not to want to apply. And I really hope there's a record number. Even people who have applied before, don't be down.
No, apply again. If you didn't win, you could still enter. So some people might think, oh, I've applied already, I've entered already, I can't do it again. That's not true. You can. And what I will say to answer your question, I think fear is what prevents a lot of people from doing things, including me. We're all human, so we all go through that. But if it's something that you're really passionate about, and I hear the stories all the time, I wish I could have, should have. To me, that's the worst thing ever, is when you're like, oh, what if? What do you mean, what if? Just do it. Like you said, the worst thing that could happen is that you can meet some connections, that you could get your idea out there, and someone else might be like, hey, I like that. Maybe we can partner. I'd like to invest. Like, to me, that's the worst thing that can happen. Not that you don't win the money, that you are exposed to opportunities out there. And let me tell you something that happened last year that we didn't plan for. So the minister attended the competition and did the welcome. He was so inspired by what he heard that everybody left there with something. He gave everybody that didn't win one of the larger grants $5,000, right? Just because he was inspired. So to me, those would have been missed opportunities if you had not just put yourself out there and pitched your business. So please, if you hear the sound of my voice, if you can see my face, do not let that be you. Please apply. You have till July 17th. And then we are hoping, like you said, that we have record numbers of applications. And I will say, every year that bar has been set higher and higher. Like, you guys showed up and showed out last year, Sydney. And so I think that is what compelled the minister to be like, well, everybody should get something. So yeah.
No, I'm with you. I can't thank you guys enough for and Global Atlantic for doing this. As I said, I just wish there's no reason everyone in Bermuda shouldn't know about this. I do wish we had, every and anyone who has never won this event applying. Like, I want, I'm going to put Jamillah on the spot. Jamillah has told me no more than she said yes. So, back in the day. But I kept pushing. I keep pushing because at the end of the day, no is a part of the language of life.
Absolutely.
We're not going to get everything we want. And to see people on that stage, sharing their idea, and thank you for bringing up the minister part, still walking away with something. To me, that was so important.
And completely unexpected. And that's to me is what I'm saying. It's like, you never know who's in the room, right? We have Global Atlantic executives fly in for this event. Like, one of the judges, Pamela, she was there and she had connections. She help some of the previous winners connect with some big brands. Like, when you think about, how do I expand outside of Bermuda? How do I make those connections? The people are in the room that could do that. So irrespective of whether you win the big award or not, the opportunity to make those connections, to get your idea out there, to find partners, to find people that can help you make your idea or your dream a reality exists on November 16th.
I call it Bermuda's version of Shark Tank. And, I, real quickly to Sydney, like, even if you win, there's still opportunities to get like other investment from other people, right?
100%. Like, there are people that want to invest in your business and your vision. So, like I said, this is not just an opportunity to win the $25,000. That would be great, and that is the ideal result. But there are other people in the room that are looking, that are watching and seeing if this is something that they would like to invest in as well. So, not necessarily, like Jamillah said, we had the minister also give a $5,000 grants, and that's just one other investor that was in the room. So there were many people that were looking to partner with different businesses and invest in, like I said, your idea and your vision. So don't think of it as okay, I have to win the 25,000. Of course, think like that. But if you don't win, just know that there are other opportunities in the room to be invested in as well.
Indeed. Thank you both so much. Always appreciate you coming on. BEDC, Jamillah, Sydney is not your first time, but both of you, please don't be strangers. July 17th, folks, that's the date you need to sign up by. The event takes place on November 16th. If you make it through, there's a process in between as well. So enjoy it. Even if you don't win, you're getting mentoring, coaching, all of that. Take advantage of it. Have a wonderful day to you both, and we'll talk
Thank
soon.
you so much. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Have a great one.
And Sydney, folks, if you appreciated that discussion and you're streaming with us on social media, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're going to take our final break. And when we come back, got a daily play for you. Don't let yourselves down with this one, folks. Easy question today, and we'll wrap it up. Stick with us.
Children love to play and have fun. And they love gifts even more, especially ones that they can enjoy and learn from. With Bermuda Trivia coloring books, kids can explore the island while they color, learn, and create. The perfect activity for fun and learning together. Available now.
Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms to learn more.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BEDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Bermuda, there's nothing like a home-cooked meal, especially when you can feed the whole family without stretching your wallet. With the affordable Bermuda basket, you'll find savings on everyday staples like rice, chicken, corn, and more. Everything you need to make a good meal for less. Shop the Bermuda basket at Lindo's, Marketplace, the Garden Market, and the English Market. Visit costofliving.gov.bm to see the full list of goods and start planning your meals. This is a message from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Life moves fast, and so can the unexpected. When you insure your home, you need to know that your insurance company has your back. At Friesenbrook, let one of our friendly and professional agents give you that peace of mind. Because when you are covered, you are confident. Call us at 296-3600 or visit friesenbrook.bm to learn more.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky box in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to Jamillah Lodge and Sydney West for stopping by. The Wave of Opportunity Pitch Competition, Global Atlantic, and the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation is honestly one of my favorite events on the calendar. And I encourage you all, if you are an entrepreneur or if you know an entrepreneur, please apply, honestly. I mean, I know what I would be able to do with $25,000. Please apply. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. And if public speaking's not your thing, work with someone to help you do it. But trust me, it's one of the best things in Bermuda that almost not enough people know about or participate in. So I would encourage you, if you know someone, share this conversation with them. Tell them about it. Go on their website, check it out. All right. All right, folks. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House, People's Pharmacy, Linda's, for ensuring we can do this with you. And big up to Hot 1075. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. As you see, we've got Bermuda Trivia coloring books in stores, Shoe by the original and the summer edition now in stores. All right. They may not be on all shelves yet, but they definitely are in stores. So check them out. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Are you ready? It's a name that place. Name this country, folks. What country was the first to win the FIFA World Cup in 1930? Oh my. I thought everyone knew the answer to that. You better Google. No, it was not Argentina. They lost the first final in 1930. It was not Argentina. Wow, I thought you all would have got that. Okay. Do I need to give you the answer, or is someone going to give the answer? The first country to ever win the World Cup, Alex Mulholland, absolutely, it was Uruguay. Yep. 9/11 Island Girl, I appreciate you being honest. She said, I Googled. Yeah, she Googled. We got Charles H. Jefferson II, Jewel Leave, both say Uruguay. Yeah, it was Uruguay. They have two. I think they've won it twice. That Uruguay. Yeah, it was Uruguay. So the World Cup begins today. Alex Mulholland, see, it's Scotland's year this year. It's Scotland's year this year. You'll get it this year. But let's wrap it up, folks. Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts. Look, Bermuda can learn a lot from what's happening in the World Cup this year. I just hope, and I don't know because I'm not in tourism, but I do hope there's something being done to take advantage of the massive amount of people who have traveled across the world to visit Canada, the United States, and Mexico for the World Cup. Whatever that may be, there's opportunities that need to be taken. As far as the conversation with Jamillah Lodge and Sydney West, I'm just going to repeat what I already said. I don't care what your business is. It could be offering classes. It could be selling glass candy or snacks. It could be something, or selling a product, or creating stuff for people. Whatever your business, a service, whatever your business ideas, consider applying. Because you really never know how judges may see what you are offering. I encourage you. Don't let yourself down. Go for it. All right, let's find some daily inspiration for you folks. We've got, I think this is appropriate, especially with all the hoopla with the World Cup. Hate is too great a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it injures the hated. I think that's appropriate right now. You know, one thing I love about being in Atlanta is the amount of people I get to communicate and engage from Bermuda when they visit Atlanta. Just last evening, a good client and friend, we had dinner and a wonderful conversation. Really, absolutely awesome conversation. And I really do take advantage of, like, when people, Bermudians, do visit, I try to connect and engage. And these conversations remind me of what I said earlier. Things like the World Cup remind us that we have more in common than we do differences if we get past the surface level stuff. Just because someone practices one religion and another person a different one doesn't mean that they are total opposites. It just means that one thing they see differently. And my hope is that through this World Cup, We see the things as it takes place that made it so special for years, for generations, and that we're able to capitalize on the celebrations, the game itself, and all the beauty that various cultures around the world bring to our television screens and cities throughout North America. All right, folks. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical Host Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.